Greetings and salutations, and welcome to my channel. I am Captain Tom Mengesha, United States Army retired, and the former adjutant for Base Support Battalion North out of Camp Buren, Kuwait. Folks, what I did is I put together 10 tips that will help you travel through the airport, make your time much more smoother, much more relaxing, much more enjoyable. So, what I want you to do, watch this video, I'm going to come back, I'm going to talk about it.
Greetings and salutations, it's the Adjutant, back with another video. Listen up because this one is for anyone planning on flying in 2025. We're about to break down the top 10 TSA rules you absolutely gotta know to avoid any travel nightmares. Whether you're a seasoned jet setter or a first-time flyer, these tips are gonna have you breezing through security like a boss. So buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive right in. Alright, first up we gotta talk about the infamous 311 liquids rule. Here's the deal. Each passenger can bring liquids, gels, aerosols, and creams in containers that are 3.4 ounces or smaller. And here's the kicker, all those little bottles need to fit inside a single, quart-sized, clear plastic bag. Now I know what you're thinking, 3.4 ounces, that's like 2 seconds worth of hairspray. And you're right, it's not a lot, but the TSA is serious about this rule. If you try to sneak through security with a full-size bottle of shampoo, they're gonna confiscate it faster than you can say boarding pass. So, do yourself a favor and stick to the 311 rule. Here's a pro tip, instead of trying to cram all your full-size toiletries into your carry-on, just buy travel-sized versions of everything. Or even better, just pack light and check your bag. That way, you can bring all the liquids you want without having to worry about the 311 rule. Just make sure you label your bag clearly so you can spot it on the carousel. Nobody wants to play luggage roulette after a long flight. Alright, let's talk tech, because we all know you're not going anywhere without your trusty laptop, tablet, or smartphone. When you get to the security checkpoint, you gotta be prepared to take out all your large electronic devices and put them in a separate bin for screening. That means your laptop, your tablet, even your Nintendo Switch, anything bigger than your phone needs to be scanned separately, and don't even think about trying to sneak your laptop through in your backpack. The TSA scanners can smell a MacBook Air a mile away. And here's another thing. Make sure all your devices are charged. Look, the TSA agents, they see thousands of passengers every day. They've seen it all. And they're not afraid to pull you aside for additional screening if they think you're hiding something. So, do yourself a favor and make sure your devices are charged and ready to go. Trust me, it's worth it. Alright parents, this one's for you. Traveling with kids can be a real adventure, am I right? But when it comes to airport security, it's all about being prepared. Now the good news is that kids under 12 can keep their shoes on during security checks. But here's the catch, they still need to go through the metal detector. So what's the key to a stress-free airport experience with kids? Communication, my friends. Before you even get to the airport, talk to your kids about what to expect at security. Explain to them that they'll need to put their toys and snacks in a bin, that they might have to walk through the metal detector by themselves, and that it's important to listen to the TSA agents. Another pro tip, pack a few small toys or snacks in your carry-on bag to keep your kids entertained while you're waiting in line. And if all else fails, just remember to breathe. Alright, let's talk about something super important, medications and medical devices. If you need to travel with medically necessary liquids or devices, like insulin, EpiPens, or CPAP machines, don't sweat it. The TSA gets it. You're allowed to bring these essential items on board with you, even if they exceed the usual 311 limits. However, there are a few things you need to keep in mind. First off, keep all your medications and medical devices separate from your regular liquids. This means packing them in a separate, clear plastic bag that's easily accessible. And speaking of stink eye, be prepared to show documentation for your medications and medical devices if asked. This could be a doctor's note, a prescription label, or even just a letter from your healthcare provider. It's always better to be safe than sorry, so have those documents handy just in case. The TSA website is a treasure trove of information, and they have a whole section dedicated to travelers with disabilities and medical conditions. They even have a helpline you can call if you have any questions or concerns. Remember, your health comes first, so don't be afraid to advocate for yourself and ask for what you need. Alright, let's talk wearable tech, because who isn't rocking a smartwatch or fitness tracker these days? Listen up, because the rules around these gadgets can be a little fuzzy. Here's the deal. In most cases, you can wear your smartwatch or fitness tracker through the security checkpoint. But And this is a big but, be prepared to remove it if the TSA agent asks you to. They might want to take a closer look at it, especially if it's a newer model that they haven't seen before. And here's another thing, if your wearable tech is particularly bulky or has a lot of metal on it, it might set off the metal detector. If that happens, you'll definitely have to take it off and put it in a bin for separate screening. So, just be smart, be prepared, and don't be afraid to ask questions if you're not sure about something. Alright, let's talk about everyone's favorite subject, food. Because let's be real, airport food is expensive and let's be honest, not always the tastiest. So, if you're looking to save some cash and avoid a culinary disaster, packing your own snacks is the way to go. Here's the good news. Solid food items like sandwiches, chips, fruit, granola bars, you name it, are totally fine to bring through security. But, and this is a big but, anything liquid or gel-like yogurt, pudding, hummus or salsa, has to follow the 3-1-1 rule. Remember, that means it needs to be in a container that's 3.4 ounces or smaller, and all those little containers need to fit inside a single quart-sized clear plastic bag. The TSA is really cracking down on liquids and gels these days, so it's best to just leave them at home. But don't worry, there are still plenty of delicious and TSA-friendly snacks you can bring with you. Here are a few of my personal favorites: trail mix, beef jerky, dried fruit, nuts, crackers, and cheese. Just make sure you pack it all in a reusable container that's easy to open and close. Remember, a little bit of planning goes a long way when it comes to airport food. Alright, let's talk about the things you absolutely positively cannot bring through airport security, the prohibited items. First up, let's talk about the obvious stuff. Weapons, guns, knives, explosives, you name it. If it's designed to kill or injure, it's a no-go. And don't even try to argue that your samurai sword is just for decorative purposes. The TSA agents have heard it all before, and they're not buying it. Next up, we've got tools. So if you're planning on bringing any tools on your trip, you're gonna have to check them in your luggage. And last but not least, we've got the weird stuff. Things like lighters, matches, e-cigarettes, and even some seemingly innocuous items like snow globes and certain types of batteries. So what's the best way to avoid any prohibited item-related mishaps at the airport? Simple. Check the TSA website before you pack. Alright, let's talk about something that can make your airport experience a whole lot smoother. TSA PreCheck. Now I know what you're thinking. I've heard of PreCheck, but it sounds like a hassle to sign up for. And you're not wrong, it does involve a bit of paperwork and a background check, but trust me, it's worth it. Here's the deal. TSA PreCheck is a program that allows low-risk travelers to enjoy expedited security screening. That means no more taking off your shoes, no more removing your laptop from your bag, and no more struggling to stuff all your belongings into those tiny plastic bins. Instead, you get to breeze through a dedicated PreCheck lane, which is usually much shorter than the regular security line. You get to keep your shoes on, your laptop in your bag, and your dignity intact. It's a beautiful thing. So, if you're looking for a way to make your airport experience a little less stressful, I highly recommend signing up for TSA PreCheck. It's a game changer, trust me. Alright, let's talk about something that's absolutely crucial for a stress-free travel experience: arriving at the airport on time. And by on time, I mean early, like really early. The TSA recommends arriving at least 2 hours before domestic flights and 3 hours before international flights. And honestly, that's just a starting point. If you're traveling during peak season, flying out of a busy airport, or checking bags, you're going to want to add even more time to that. Here's why. You never know what kind of delays you're going to encounter at the airport. Traffic could be a nightmare. The security line could be longer than the Great Wall of China. So, do yourself a favor, set an alarm, and get to the airport early. Goal is to keep everyone safe and secure. There you have it, folks. The top 10 TSA rules you need to know before you fly in 2025. Remember, a little bit of preparation goes a long way when it comes to air travel. So, do your research, pack smart, and arrive at the airport early, and you'll be well on your way to a stress-free journey. Now, I know some of these rules might seem a little over the top, but trust me, they're there for a reason. The TSA's main priority is to keep everyone safe and secure, and sometimes that means making a few sacrifices in the name of national security. But hey, at least we can still bring snacks on the plane, right? Just make sure those snacks follow the 311 rule. Alright, that's all I've got for you today. Safe travels, everyone. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more travel tips and adventures.
Wasn't that great? I tell you what, those are some great tips, great advice that everyone should follow. I know when I travel to Vietnam and Thailand and all parts of Africa, having these tips in mind is certainly going to help have a much more relaxing, stress-free travel experience through the airport. And so, with that, I wish you all blessings and blessings, safe travels, and shalom.
Call on, Thomas Mengesha.